balance between the demands of career in traditionally male-dominated fields, and between family and the caregiving responsibilities
Yeah.
actually can be particularly challenging for us women. So in this leadership field, in cybersecurity, we serve as role models, and so we have to inspire other women to pursue careers in this field. So
Yeah.
our presence actually helps to challenge the stereotypes that are and biases that are out there, as I said earlier. And so we have to demonstrate that women can actually succeed and excel in cybersecurity roles as well. And
My name is Ashish Khetan, and I'm the technical writer journalist at the Cyber Express. So I basically cover technical copies, ransomware, malware, these kind of things. And yeah, and on to you.
Yep. So I'm Colonel Francel Margareth Padilla. I'm the AFP spokesperson. I'm also the station commander of the Civil and Media Relations Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, under
Yeah.
the Civil Relations Service. Um, of course, I my background is in the cybersecurity arena as a signal officer, in charge of command control, communications, and cybersecurity.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, so Miss Francel has been the cybersecurity women leader of the year in 2023, and she's top 30 women in cybersecurity in Asia, and she's also been the top 10 women in cybersecurity Philippines. So we are really glad to have you here. So let's start with the first question. Okay. So, like, can you share your story and your journey into the field of cybersecurity and armed forces? Like, what inspired you to pursue this career in these two domains?
So basically, I graduated in the Philippine Military Academy, as an Army officer. And so my specialization is, I'm part of the Signal Corps. So Signal Corps started with CEIS, Communications, Electronics, and Information Systems. I believe that nobody can actually start with cyber, just being cybersecurity altogether. You have to have like a foundation. So in my
Yeah,
case, my foundation is information systems. We've been developing a lot of systems for the Philippine Army and the AFP as a whole. And then in 2016, I transitioned towards cybersecurity. So that's how it all began, and foundation is information systems, so more on applications. So I work closely with those who have a niche in terms of networks and the hardware component. So, but
yeah.
my field actually is more on the application side of things.
Okay, okay, thank you. Really interesting. So, yeah, on to the next question. So, like, as a leader in cybersecurity, and I'm sure a lot of people follow you on LinkedIn and other social media. So, like, what are some of the challenges you have faced in a male dominated field? So, from the very early days of the internet, the cybersecurity and IT has been dominated by males. So, like, what are the challenges you have faced?
So basically, at the onset, we cannot really erase in the equation some stereotypes and bias in terms of that. STEM, the science and technology and mathematics fields, are basically more inclined towards gravitating in the male-dominated field. And so
Yeah,
women in male-dominated fields often face stereotypes and biases that can undermine their credibility and abilities. So there are certain times that we may encounter assumptions that we are less competent or capable than our male counterparts,
yeah,
so that we tend to try to be able to prove ourselves every now and then, and
yeah,
this can affect our confidence and opportunities for advancement, but it depends upon the certain individual. Of course, in the STEM field as well, we are underrepresented. So women are underrepresented in leadership positions in terms of decision-making roles within these fields. And has been changing through the years, no?
yeah,
Because we've been limited in our visibility, influence, and the
yeah,
opportunities as well for career advancement.
yeah,
Um, of course, because there are not much women as well, there is a lack of role models and mentors. So
yeah,
there is an absence of female role models because it's fairly new that women have been advancing in the cybersecurity field. So it's very difficult for us to find mentors in this role.
yeah,
Over and above that, being a woman, we are more inclined to take care of the children as a mom. So there's difficulty in having a work life balance. So the balance between the demands of career in traditionally male dominated fields, and between family and the caregiving responsibilities
yeah,
actually can be particularly challenging for us women. So,
yeah,
of course, in the IT field, there are long hours, there are frequent deployments, especially in my case in the military, and there's a
yeah,
demanding nature of these roles, which make it difficult to achieve a satisfactory work-life balance in total.
yeah,
Yeah, so there has been also issues about access to opportunities, but in my case, I'm very fortunate that in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, they are really open towards women in leadership roles,
yeah,
and lastly, of course, sometimes us women do suffer from the imposter syndrome. Women in male dominated fields tend to experience imposter syndrome. We doubt our capabilities and we feel like we don't belong or we don't deserve to have these achievements. So this
yeah,
undermines our confidence, and this can hinder our ability to pursue and excel in our careers. But it's subjective. It's how we actually pursue our goals in the end. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, totally. So I totally get that. So basically, I have a few friends from Philippines as well. So they have been really hardworking, and they go toe to toe with the men. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. So yeah, that brings on to the next question. Like you said, there has to be a leader in cybersecurity and maybe army for other women to follow. So, you've been recognized as a cybersecurity leader in both nationally and regionally. So, how do you believe your presence and leadership have contributed to the advancement of women in the sectors? How people get inspired by you, and do you know any stories where there has been a woman that follows you and they have changed their careers?
Yeah, so I feel honored, to have that followership, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I also feel humbled because there are certain challenges that I have to be able to overcome in order for me to serve as an inspiration for others. No, so I have
yeah,
to have visibility and representation. So in this leadership field, in cybersecurity, we serve as role models, and so we have to inspire other women to pursue careers in this field. So
yeah,
our presence actually helps to challenge the stereotypes that are and biases that are out there, as I said earlier. And so we have to demonstrate that women can actually succeed and excel in cybersecurity roles as well. And of course, as I said a while ago also, because there's a difference, like there's a difficulty in us for us to find mentorship and support. So in my case, I make it a point that I have to be a mentor to younger generations of those who want to be part of the cybersecurity field. I have to provide guidance, advice, and of course, I am very open to networking opportunities. I have to share my experiences and expertise in order for me to help empower others and uplift the next generation of women in cybersecurity. Over and above that, I have this advocacy in terms of diversity and inclusion. So for us in our field, the leadership in cybersecurity, we have to advocate for diversity in our inclusion initiatives so that within our organizations and of course the greater industry, the broader industry, we can promote policies and practices that can create a more inclusive and supportive environment for women and of course the underrepresented groups. So
mm,
I endeavor as well to drive organizational change. So I tend to want to have that influence and the ability to drive organizational change and implement policies that promote gender diversity and equity.
yeah,
It's fortunate that the Philippines has a very high score in terms of gender and development. No, so
yeah,
we want to champion initiatives such as flexible work arrangements, non-biased training for everyone, recruitment efforts, and of course, we target increasing representation of women in terms of cybersecurity roles.
yeah,
Over and above that, what we do, we promote collaboration and powership. So we want to foster collaboration and partnership within the cybersecurity community as we
yeah,
bring together diverse perspectives and expertise to address complex challenges that are out there. So, with this, we help to strengthen the cybersecurity workforce and advance the field as a whole, not just for women, but for everyone who wants to be in the cybersecurity
yeah,
field.
yeah. Yeah, really interesting and really inspiring. So basically, I'm a technical writer, but I'm thinking to get into more into technical part of the cybersecurity thing. So yeah, really inspiring. So so my next question to you is can you elaborate on the importance of gender diversity and inclusion in cybersecurity in armed forces, particularly in the case of the Philippines?
So in terms of the Philippines, we want to, as I said, we have a very high score in terms of gender and development, but we
Yeah,
want to pursue an enhanced effectiveness and resilience. Diversity teams actually bring a variety of perspectives. So if the women is out there, our skills and our experiences, we bring a different light to the table. We have a different perspective that we can offer to the table. So diverse teams in cybersecurity are offers unique insights into our behavior, vulnerabilities, threat landscapes that are out there, leading and more effective strategies for protecting critical infrastructures as well as sensitive information. This is the heart and soul of cybersecurity, actually. So, in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, we actually implement gender diverse teams in order to enhance our operational effectiveness and resilience. So we want to bring different and diverse perspectives to planning, to decision making, as well as execution.
yeah,
So over and above that, we also want representation and inclusivity, as I said. So we want to promote gender diversity and inclusion in diversity and in cybersecurity in terms
yeah,
of the armed forces, so that we ensure that the workforce actually reflects the diversity of the population that we serve. So this is
yeah,
particularly important here in the Philippines because women play a significant role in society.
yeah,
That includes governance, business, community leadership. In women, when we represent in the cybersecurity in the armed forces, we ensure that the perspectives and needs are taken care of and into account in terms of policy development, our operations, and of course in the decision making process.
yeah,
So yeah, over and above that, we also have talent development. It's also going to be diverse, and of course, social and economic empowerment. Being in the armed forces as well, we want to focus towards national security and stability.
yeah. Yeah, totally awesome. So yeah, so to my next question to you is you have experience of almost 30 years into security and cyber security and army. So what things you have observed in these years, like how the industry has changed, and especially for women.
Yeah, through the years, no, it's a learning process. As we go along, we tend to adjust to what happens all around us, to our environment. So we have an increased awareness and advocacy. So over the years, there's been a growing awareness of the importance of gender diversity and inclusion in cybersecurity. So
Yeah,
there has been an advocacy for increasing the participation of women in the field. This is actually driven by organizations, industry leaders, and government initiatives because they saw that women has a different perspective and we offer a different flavor towards conversations on the table. So there has been a rise of women-focused programs and initiatives as the years went along. So there has been a proliferation of programs and initiatives that are aimed at encouraging and supporting women's participation in cybersecurity. So this
Yeah.
can include scholarships, mentorship programs, networking events, and conferences specially targeted for women in the field. And also there's a lot of work, awarding body for females because we want to inspire and entice more women to join the field of cybersecurity. So with this, there has been a growing representation actually in leadership role. So there has been seen progress in increasing the representation of women in leadership roles within cybersecurity organizations. So women are increasingly occupying positions such as CISOs,
Yeah.
cybersecurity directors, and other leadership positions, contributing to decision making and shaping the direction of cybersecurity strategies. So
Yeah.
over the years as well, there has been an expansion of educational opportunities, scholarship programs. Sometimes the scholarship programs are actually directed at women in particular. So that actually gives a push for more women to join the cybersecurity realm. And of
Yeah.
course, recognition of women's contributions. As I said, there has been a lot of bodies that have been awarding women's contribution. And challenges, of course, and barriers still persist. So, despite these positive changes, women still face challenges and barriers to full participation and advancement in cybersecurity. It still tends to be more of a male dominated field.
Yeah.
So, issues such as gender bias, discrimination, as I said earlier, and the lack of representation in certain areas of the field continue to be obstacles that need to be addressed through ongoing efforts and initiatives. So, overall, while the progress has been made in increasing women's roles in participation in cybersecurity, there is still a lot of work to be done actually to achieve full gender equality and inclusion in the field. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a long way, and I think it has already started. So yeah, so we
Yeah.
are really looking forward to it. So how does the industry change, and what kind of programs would be included? So I'm really looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
my next question to you is like, as a consultant and motivational speaker, like how do you encourage more women to join careers in cybersecurity and the military? Like for example, in the Philippines, I think. Philippines celebrate women, and they really support women in daily household, and in the family tree thing. But like outside of that, like how do you pursue women to make their careers in cybersecurity and military? So yeah.
Yeah, actually, encouraging more women to pursue careers in cybersecurity and the military actually requires addressing the unique challenges they might face and implementing target. We want to implement targeted strategies to support the participation and advancement of the more women in the field. So some things to be considered. One is education and outreach. We have to start by promoting STEM, science,
Yeah.
technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is the participation of women in this field is really very, very small. So education among girls from a young age, we want to cultivate interest in terms of cybersecurity and related fields. So we actually tend to offer workshops, coding camps, mentorship programs, specifically targeting girls and young women to provide them with exposure to cybersecurity concepts as well as career opportunities in this field. So we also want visibility and representation. So we want to highlight the achievements and contributions of women in cybersecurity in the military as well through media campaigns, like in my case, that's what we really do, industry events and role models showcases. We want to provide visible examples of successful women in these fields so that we can inspire and motivate others to pursue similar career paths.
Yeah.
Another is we want to have supportive networks and mentorship. So we have to create a supportive network and mentorship program uh, for women in cybersecurity and the military to provide guidance. We want to give advice and career development opportunities. So we want to pair women with like-minded mentors who have
Yeah,
already navigated similar challenges so that we can help these young ones to overcome barriers and be able to advance in their careers. So, as
yeah,
I said a while ago as well, we want to address bias and stereotypes. And of course, being now very gender sensitive, we want to have flexible work practices. So
yeah,
we want to implement flexible work practices so that we can accommodate the needs of women, particularly those balancing caregiving responsibilities with their
yeah,
careers. So we want to offer options like remote work, flexible hours, parental leave, whatever it is that can help them attract and retain women in cybersecurity roles. You know,
mm,
lastly, we have professional development opportunities also for women. We want to address this, and of course, by doing this, we want to partner and collaborate with those who really want to help, implement, level up the presence of women in this field.
yeah, yeah. I think world governments are also doing that. They have also released, a bunch of courses and bunch of programs really dedicated to women. So I think
Yeah,
things are really changing right now, and I think it's
that's
changing
really
for the
very
good.
good. Yeah, that's really very good news that this are
Yeah.
happening now. Yeah,
So while I was doing a story on women participation in cybersecurity, so I found out a bunch of courses that they are dedicated to women only. So I think things are
yeah,
changing slowly. Yeah.
yeah. This
So
change is very good. Yeah,
yeah. So and for example, the people I work with, so they are from journalism background, but they're working in cybersecurity. So the women I work with are like they are really interested in cybersecurity, and they are giving their 100%, even though this is not their field. Like they didn't study in them. So yeah, I think things are changing and people are adopting. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's really good
yeah.
news. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my next question to you is like, you have a background in gender and development studies. So, like, how do you think gender perspective can enhance cybersecurity strategies and maybe military operations?
Actually, gender perspectives can enhance cybersecurity strategies and military operations in a lot of ways. One is diverse problem solving. So, when gender diverse teams bring a variety of perspectives and experiences, as I said, we women bring something new to the table.
Yeah.
So we have this approaches and to problem solving in a different manner. So in
Yeah.
cybersecurity, creative thinking is crucial. So we want to do this to stay ahead in terms of evolving threats. Diverse
Yeah.
teams can also generate innovative solutions and strategies that may not have been considered otherwise before. You know, so we also want to understand user behavior. So if we have a gender perspective, we can offer insights into user behavior and preferences, which is actually important considering in designing secure systems and implementing effective security measures. So we want to understand how different genders interact with technology and perceive
Yeah.
security threats, risks, and cybersecurity professionals can actually tailor fit these strategies to better meet the needs of diverse user groups.
Yeah.
So we also want to enhance communication and outreach. Women are very good in communicating.
Yeah.
Can improve in communication and outreach by effectively reaching and engaging with a broader audience. So in
Yeah.
cybersecurity, we try to raise awareness and education uh, about secured practices because it is actually crucial, no? So diversity, these diverse perspectives can help tailor communication, these strategies to resonate with different demographic groups. So we also want to increase representation and talent pool by promoting gender diversity and inclusivity. So organizations can attract and retain top talent because they have a wider pool of candidates if they consider the women. So this can help address the talent shortage in cybersecurity by tapping the skill and the expertise of women who may have actually have previously been underrepresented and overlooked before. So
yeah,
overall, integrating a gender perspective into cybersecurity strategies can lead to more effective and inclusive approaches and better address the complex challenges and dynamics of today's digital and security landscape. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Really interesting. So my next question to you is like, can you share some examples where you have been involved in, some programs or initiative to support women in cybersecurity or maybe in military space?
Well, I've been the commanding officer of the 7th Signal Battalion before I've been
Yeah,
the AFP spokesperson. And I had this advocacy, and it's entitled Cyber for Peace Initiative. So this actually was the one that brought me that award for being the cybersecurity woman leader of the year. The
yeah,
Cyber for Peace Initiative is actually very practical. It's basically, in a nutshell, technology for development. So I was assigned in the field unit, and because there's not much insurgency problem already in the northern Luzon area of the Philippines, we wanted technology to be able to meet development. So what we did was go to the areas, contributed to the body of knowledge by giving information to the researchers about what is actually the tech data and status in red areas, in areas that are not being reached by this researchers. And over and
yeah,
above that, I also partnered my unit also partnered with universities to take in on the job trainings, especially women, teach them the skills, repair and maintenance of equipment, IT equipment, troubleshooting and all that. So I give also a lot of lectures in terms of cybersecurity to different sectors of society.
yeah,
Over and above that, we also partnered with local government, to give trainings on cybersecurity and be able to help them also set up a command and control center for humanitarian aid, for disaster and relief operations. So all of these things, this is our initiative when I was the commander in the unit, and it deemed to be very effective, and it was embraced by the different units that I have been working with, and hopefully it comes on to a bigger scale of support as we go along. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, totally interesting. So my next question to you is like given your experience in the international lecture and moderator, you've been an international lecturer on cybersecurity and the moderator. So like, how do you engage diverse audiences to advocate for women's participation in cybersecurity?
Well, as I said, I tend to be a mentor of sorts. I want to inspire more women to break glass ceilings and join the field of STEM and cybersecurity. I
Yeah,
do a lot of mentorship trainings, and I really entice more girls and women to participate and take on this challenge of taking on the
yeah,
cybersecurity field and realm. And I also partner with different agencies and other advocates as well of women empowerment and women advocacy and rights. And of course, be able to share my story and inspire and motivate them to pursue the same field as I did.
yeah. I think through this interview, a lot of women who will watch the interview and will get inspired to take up STEM and enter the field of cybersecurity.
Thank you
So
very much for having me.
yeah,
Have a great day ahead. What time is it there?
it's 6 p.m. here.
Oh, have a great evening, Ashish, and
Yeah,
thank you for inviting me to be part of this initiative of yours.
yeah.
And yeah, have a great evening. Thank you very much.